Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time we made our way here to Striaton City, and we had quite the battle here at the Striaton restaurant. But today I want to head out this way to the Dreamyard, because there's something of major importance in this area. As you can see, there is a Pokemon flying around here. You might notice it is different from the one in the regular game. That's because the location of the Pokemon that was originally here has actually been changed from the original release. I need Cut. Alrighty, I have returned with Cut. I really don't like Cut, in case anyone didn't realize. But anyway, this area is interesting because it's one of those areas that was actually required in the original Black and White, but you couldn't explore all of it until after you beat the game. Really random. Anyway, you might notice I do not have a repel up at the moment. That is because there is exactly one Pokemon in this area that I would like to catch, so hopefully it shows up sooner rather than later so we can cast that repel back up. But anyway, right around here there is an Ultra Ball, which will be very useful for the upcoming legendary fight that we're going to be doing. In fact, I think it's right up here. I'm going to save really quick because if I recall correctly, the game actually doesn't allow you to save immediately before fighting it, so I will do that really quick. Alrighty, the game is saved. Hopefully it's right up here, otherwise I just save for no reason. Yeah, it's right up here, but I think we have to encounter the Pokemon a couple more times in this area. Oh wow, that is cleverly hidden. TM85 Dream Eater. One of these TMs we're going to be getting any day now. In fact, that might have been it. Will be the last TM we ever obtain in the series. That's kind of crazy to think about how we're almost at the end of it. Anyway, I think we want to dip through here. Yep, another short little encounter. And you might notice there is also a basement to this area. I don't want to go down there quite yet because I'm pretty sure everything involving that Pokemon can be done without going in the basement. I'm actually not quite positive on that, but anyway, we saw it flying over this way. Let's see if we can counter it again. Yes, we do. Yeah, you see it went that way now. I think this is when I want to save. Or not, now it's off this way. It's a little bit of a wild goose chase, gotta say. Alright, pretty sure that is the last encounter we have to have with it. Okay, pointless save was pointless. Now I'm going to save, and I will be right back. Alrighty, now we have saved, and I think this is when the encounter takes place. Yes. This is Jirachi, which is the Wishmaker Pokemon. It's a really interesting Pokemon. I really like the idea of Jirachi, the whole wish upon a star type thing. It seems like a really obvious choice, but at the same time, I think they executed it quite well. Anyway, let's see if we can get lucky with this Quick Ball right here, although I personally doubt it. Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen. One thing worth noting is, strangely enough, you wouldn't guess this by looking at it, but Jirachi is actually part Steel type, so I actually have a decent amount of confidence that it can survive a Flash Cannon because it's not very effective. In fact, I think it might be double not very effective. I'm actually not sure on that, but let's see how much that does. That was actually quite a good hit, so I think with that, I'm just going to move on to the Ultra Balls, because as you can see, it is 9 in the morning, and Dusk Balls ain't doing squat. And there we go, Jirachi was caught. Very nice. Didn't take too terribly long, I guess. It is said to have the ability to grant any wish for just 1 week every 1,000 years. Really neat Pokemon, I really like the idea. Anyway, with that, there is an item right here. Aha, there's a Soul Dew. That is because of the Pokemon that was originally planned on spawning in here, but it was changed in the hack. Not going to say what it is because we will be catching it later. But yeah, that's an amusing little oversight. So the Soul Dew has absolutely nothing to do with Jirachi whatsoever. Anyway, with that, I would like to head into the basement of the area right here. Because, believe it or not, there are trainers and all sorts of other little things that you can explore in this area. What? Okay. These guys, like, behave weirdly. Aha, they actually get scared of you. That's interesting. There we go. So you have to actually go after them and press A on them. That's interesting. I forgot they did that. Neat little mechanic. Anyway, there aren't too terribly many trainers in here, and the trainers that there are, they don't tend to have too many Pokemon, I don't think, just because they tend to be psychics and not ace trainers and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I really don't like fighting ace trainers just because they take for freaking ever to battle. It's crazy. Alright, got a nasty plot coming out right here. So, I was looking ahead and planning the last episodes of the series, and I've decided that I really need to start recording ahead, because there are some episodes that we're going to be doing right at the end of the series where they might take like 5 or 6 hours a piece to record. Yeah, I'm not joking. It's gonna be insane for some of these episodes, and I'll be honest, I'm really, really nervous for recording them just because they'll take so darned long, and the fights in them are gonna be so darn difficult. But one way or another, I am going to show off that feature. I'm sure veterans of this game know exactly what I am referring to. Some of it's gonna be an adventure, we'll just say that much. Alrighty, down goes the first trainer in the area. I think there's 7 trainers in the Dreamyard, which isn't too bad. Alright, so we already fought you. Now we have to fight you. Really weird how they have the trainers laid out like this, but I guess it's a nice little change of pace from previous areas. Alrighty, we have Porygon 2 right here, and I'll be honest, way back when I played Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Porygon 2, and to a lesser extent, Scizor, those Pokemon drove me insane because I think back in Generation 2, there's no way you can even see them in regular battles. You have to evolve them. So back when I was a noob and didn't know what the heck I was doing, those empty slots in my Pokedex drove me quite crazy just because I had no idea what they were. Alright, Grumpig. Grumpig I don't have as big of a beef with, although in this case I should say I don't have much of a pork with it. That sounded a lot better in my head. Let's just forget I said that. Anyway, Thunderbolt. Alright, we got the paralysis off. That's awesome. So, once we finish exploring the new areas of the Unova region in the next... Oh man, it's probably going to be only about 4 or 5 episodes until we're done with exploring. I'm probably going to have to grind the team all the way up to level 100 for some of the stuff we're going to be doing in the future. It's kind of crazy, some of the stuff they're going to throw at us. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I can beat all of the battles that I plan on showing, but if I somehow cannot, I'm probably going to just peek into the data and show the teams on screen anyway, because I really don't want to leave any stone unturned in this series. Alright, it looks like everyone has 2 Pokemon in this area, which I'm completely okay with, because as I've mentioned before, fighting opponents with teams of 6 can get really, really frustrating very quickly. And I'm noticing Magnezone's getting the Quick Claw a lot. I'm wondering how much that's actually helping, considering we outlevel these opponents quite significantly. But, I don't know. I feel like the Quick Claw has saved my bacon quite a few times, including in the final boss fight against Champion Iris. Kinda crazy, that was 12 episodes ago, but it feels like I just recorded it yesterday. I have to wonder if the rest of the series is going to go that way, because I've been looking ahead, and assuming everything goes to plan, and I hope it does, this series should end with 150 videos, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not, but it would be really nice if it did, because that would mean the series would actually end in July instead of August, which would be a little bit ahead of schedule from what I was planning, although, to be fair, as a result of that, I will not be able to show some winter-exclusive stuff in these post-game areas, but I'll make sure to make a note of it at some point, even if we don't actually go and do it in the series. Can we please wake up? Like, please? I'd really appreciate Magnezone waking up right now. Come on, yes. Quick Claw, wake up, Thunderbolt, very good. And that brings down Gardevoir, which is very nice. Alrighty, and Magnezone also gets level 94, which is pretty sweet. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think also another interesting little detail, is there anything over here in this corner? Oh, there is. An interesting little detail is that Jirachi, unless I'm mistaken, was the 620th Pokemon that we have seen, which means there's, as of right now, I believe 29 Pokemon left for us to see. Which is kind of crazy. Looking ahead at my notes, I think every single one of those is legendary. I'm not positive, but I think every single one is legendary. If not, then there's probably only one or two non-legendary Pokemon that we have left to see. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of like back in Sinnoh, where they made sure to give everyone, like, give every Pokemon to at least one NPC. It's kind of like that, because we've seen basically everything at this point, not counting legendaries, which they almost never give to NPCs. I say almost never because we saw Genesect on Ghetsis' team, and not to spoil anything, but we are going to be seeing legendary Pokemon on other trainers' teams soon-ish. There's one example I'm thinking of that's exclusive to this hack, and that's presuming the documentation that comes with the hack isn't wrong in this area, but I doubt it would be wrong in this area. Alrighty, and right on over here we have a Dawnstone, which I personally don't have any use for because I did all of the item evolutions prior to completing the Pokemon League. Anyway, let's head right on up here, and we are back on the surface. Now, I believe there's only a couple more trainers for us to fight. Alrighty, now one interesting thing about this area I guess I can mention, and it's only mentioned in the anime as far as I'm aware of, it's that this area actually used to be a research facility owned by Fennel, who is the lady that we met way the heck back in Castelia City, who runs the Dream Suite thing, whatever it is. I don't remember what it's called. I think Dream Suite is actually Animal Crossing terminology, but Dream World, yeah, that's what it was. She runs the Dream World, and in the anime, it was mentioned that she actually conducted research at the facility that used to stand right here until some sort of accident happened and blew up the building. Which is really freaky to think about. They usually don't get quite that dark in Pokemon, but I guess in some sense they do. Alrighty. So anyway, Brave Bird should take out this Tangrowth. Wow, it actually doesn't. I am legitimately impressed that this thing managed to survive a hit like that. Especially considering we outleveled this thing by 11? 12. 12, yeah, I can count. I can definitely count. I've been out of school for about 3 weeks now, so maybe my math is getting a little bit rusty. Alrighty. Just going through the motions right here in this area. This area is, I think, entirely optional. Aside from catching Jirachi, everything else here is just an optional little side attraction, and that's one thing I really like about the Univert region. There's a lot of areas like this. Anyway, I think this is the last trainer? Yeah. Well, at least I hope he is. His goal is to outperform gym leaders. Well, to be fair, everyone that we've been fighting in these post-game areas definitely outlevels a gym leader. And it's funny, I don't know if we've seen a Zoroark before in the LP, at least in battle like this. We saw one in the overworld, but I'll be honest, I don't remember if we fought one aside from that, so this might be something new that we're seeing right here. Zoroark is very interesting because, for whatever reason, in Black and White, they tried to make it like the Generation 5 version of Lucario, but then they also made it event exclusive, and I can't fathom why. Anyway, right through here, there is yet another trainer. I was going to say item, but I guess trainer works too. Okay, this is probably the last one. I seem to remember there only being 3 listed for the upper area of the Dreamyard. And it's really unfortunate. I've been doing all these wild encounters, just ignoring putting a rappel up, and we haven't encountered the Pokemon I want to catch in this area yet. Which I guess is understandable, but it is quite common, so when we get back into the basement where it's actually more common, we're definitely going to find it sooner rather than later. Alrighty, we have Togekiss coming in right here. It's funny, I've been using Togekiss recently as my designated flyer, just because I don't want to reteach Mandibu's Fly, because we need every ounce of power we can muster. I'm afraid one of these days I'm going to go to an important battle in some remote area and forget to put Togekiss in the PC. That'll be a little bit awkward when it does eventually happen, because I bet it will. Right here we have a Reaper Cloth, which we also don't need. Although, to be fair, I think we obtained a Reaper Cloth in the past at some point, and so that's redundant anyway. Anyway, right here, I need to teach someone Strength. Let's hope Sandslash can learn it. Alrighty, turns out Sandslash can learn it, which is very, very convenient for me, because I really, really don't want to backtrack to get another HM slave. Anyway, this wraps right around to the entrance, so it's just a nice little shortcut. And the main reason they put this shortcut in here is because right up here, I believe only on Fridays, and I think only in the original Black and White if I'm not mistaken, you can find a hidden ability Musharna right there. I don't think it happens in Black 2 and White 2. But anyway, I think that's all of the exploring that we have to do in the Dreamyard, so I'm going to go see if we can finally find that Pokemon that I want to catch in this area. Okay, for a 20% encounter, that took way too danged long. Anyway, here we have Eradicate. Yeah, believe it or not, we don't have this Pokemon yet. Really, really surprising, so let's fix that. Quick Ball strikes again. I really am converted to these things now. I didn't use them a whole lot before the LP, but now I can't live without these darn things. With its long fangs, this surprisingly violent Pokemon can gnaw away even thick concrete with ease. Yeah, you do not want to get on this Pokemon's bad side. Let me tell you that much. Anyway, now that we have done that, we are done with the Dreamyard. So, we caught Jirachi this video. What do you say we go take out another legendary? So, I will meet you guys over in the Giant Chasm. Alrighty, here we are in the cave where we captured Kyurem. We want to talk to that guy. I thought I could make it. You just had a battle with the mythical Kyurem, did you not? You're an interesting trainer. Perhaps other mythical Pokemon will also show themselves to you, now that you've proven your worth. The Dragon Spiral Tower would be a good place to see if that theorem is true. It is known as a gathering place for dragon Pokemon. Now it's worth noting, this guy causes a lot of legendary Pokemon to spawn all around the map. However, due to some errors in programming, some of those Pokemon have already revealed themselves to us. However, to the best of my knowledge, had we captured those Pokemon and then talked to this guy, they would have spawned a second time. And quite honestly, that feels a little bit like cheating to me, so that's why we waited until now to take care of all this stuff. But anyway, right on over here, one such Pokemon that did accidentally reveal itself to us a bit early is in the center right here. I really want to save. Alrighty, and now that we have saved, let us confront Deoxys. Yeah, Deoxys is in the Giant Chasm, which I think is the perfect place for it. I mean, it's from outer space, and it's said that a meteorite fell in the Giant Chasm quite a long time ago. And I feel like that connects it even more to the fact that this area resembles the Tunguska event, which I think is a really neat little detail. And about Deoxys, it is probably one of the only Pokemon to be a former mythical, because you can catch this thing completely kosher, no event required, in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Well, alright, let's try this again. That was a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, and I think this Pokemon is the only non-roaming legendary ever where I've used my Master Ball on it, because in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you fight Rayquaza and have to capture it. Then you fight Zinnia, and then you fight Deoxys, all without the opportunity to save in the middle, and the thing's level 80. And in that game, odds are, you're not going to be level 80 and have the ability to stand up to this thing at that point in your adventure. So, I Master Balled this thing. I really don't have any qualms with the fact that I Master Balled this thing. But anyway, as evidenced by that little accident, apparently I am not capable of easily weakening this thing, so I think I'm just going to start chucking Ultra Balls at it. Alright, let's do it. Oh boy. Nice, Deoxys was caught. That feels really good. Turns out Victini's Brick Break did really well at weakening this thing. An alien virus that fell to Earth on a meteor underwent a DNA mutation to become this Pokemon. Interesting. That Pokédex entry seems to imply that the Pokemon itself doesn't actually come from space. In fact, it mutated into this form after it had arrived on Earth. But anyway, with that, I think there's nothing for it but to head back to Stratton City. But anyway, I think with that, we are going to be ending things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we explored the entirety of the Dreamyard, and we captured the legendary Jirachi and Deoxys, as well as unlocked the ability to capture many legendary Pokemon all around the map. And next time, we are going to be doing just that. We are going to be exploring the Wellspring Cave on Route 3. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.